When you think of Indecent Cherry, you're probably thinking something that's dark, dirty, maybe even a little obscene. But I'm on to Born to Stand Out, and this is not that. Think more like leading lady from a Hallmark movie. You know, the one where she meets a guy, they fall in love, but then she gets discouraged because she sees him talking to another woman, and then she realizes that wasn't the case at all, and then they fall in love and blend their family and live happily ever after. That's what Indecent Cherry is. Come back and I'll explain to you a little bit more why the only thing that's indecent is who's actually spending my money, but you gotta come back. Come back. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to a brand new video, Smell Good with Jenna. I'm, of course, Jenna. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you're into fragrance reviews, layering combos, and just smelling like you got your life put together, then you know what you gotta do. Stay blessed, like, comment, and subscribe, and let's get right into it. So, you heard the intro. We're talking about Born to Stand Out Indecent Cherry. So the thing is with cherry fragrances, I really enjoy cherry, but at the same time, it's not one of my favorite notes. So I don't know if that makes any sense, but I'm just like right in the middle when it comes to cherry. However, I find cherry fragrances does exceptionally well in the colder months, and we're in fall, so obviously I was looking to add to my collection. I wound up seeing on Instagram a couple of cherry fragrance videos and what to add to my collection. One of them that was mentioned was Indecent Cherry. Now, the reason why I was already sold and interested, because I truly love Born to Stand Out's marketing, and their packaging is so bold and rebellious. Like, I actually have the package here, so it's just simple, right? You see, it says who the F cares. When we know when it comes to fragrances, it's just everything about it so luxe, sophisticated, and elegant. They're like, nah, this is take it or leave it. So that's why I've always enjoyed, or always, their fragrances caught my attention, especially the names too are very wild, if you will. So nonetheless, I was interested and wound up picking up this bad boy from Max Aroma for $164. I think the retail price is $210, so that's not a bad savings. And when I decided to test this one out, because when I smelled it, this one I found was pretty mild. And as you know, in the fall, it's not immediately cool, right? You still have those 75, 80 degree days. So I thought this would be perfect to test out now. And when I first sprayed it, this was deceptively sweet. So based off the name Indecent, again, like I said in the intro, I'm expecting this to be a little bit dirty, if you will, dark. Nope, it's very juicy and deceptively sweet. Matter of fact, Born to Stand Out said on their website, the inspiration, I have it here. This one is the good girl gone bad in the best possible way. I disagree. I don't think this is a good girl that's gone bad. I think this is maybe a bad girl that wants to be good, that wears this. She's tired of that. I'm bad. I just want to feel pretty and attractive and nice. She wears this. She knows that she's going to get attention, not in a bad way, but a good way, because she smells like this. That's what that reminds me of. This is nothing about this is dirty or dark or even seductive, but it definitely catches one attention, and it definitely caught mine. Okay, so let's jump into the notes. In Indecent Cherry, some of the main notes are cherry, sour cherry, almonds, and strawberries. I don't get when, another thing that they put on Born to Stand Out's website, they put that this isn't your childhood cherry. I disagree. This actually does remind me of a childhood cherry. This reminds me of almost eating a cherry Jolly Rancher, or even Now Laters, if you remember those. That's what I get with this. Or even in the best possible way. Don't let this throw you off, because I told one of my friends this is what it reminds me of, and she was like, I don't know about that. But in the best possible way, this reminds me of an air freshener. You know how when you spray air fresheners in the bathroom and it doesn't smell the greatest? I would rather smell this. It's just airy, if you will. Then you got the almond in here that gives it more warmth, and almost, maybe it could be because of the mimosa note in here that gives it a slight booziness. It reminds me almost drinking a sour amaretto. Just something about that. There's a little bit booze. Like I said, it might be the mimosa, but it's still very much bright. And then you have the strawberry in here that adds to that sweetness, that playfulness. It's just very reminiscent of a smell from when I was growing up. So I definitely don't think this is dark. As I keep mentioning, this is very much reminiscent and nostalgic, in my opinion. Okay, so who is Indecent Cherry for? This is, in my opinion, unisex. However, I think it does lean more feminine leaning, especially on Born to Stand Out website. They mentioned good girl gone bad, so I think this is marketed more so towards that side. But I think men or anybody in general that likes Tom Ford's Lost Cherry would enjoy this one. This one I would wear probably all year long. I probably wouldn't wear it in the summertime just because it could be a little too sweet, a little too cloying. But early parts of the fall, I definitely rock it because you have that breeze. Definitely into the season, definitely into winter. I probably would wear something a little bit more darker in the deeper parts of the winter, when it's 20 degrees or lower. Probably wouldn't wear this one, but through a good portion of the year, I definitely rock this. I think you can rock this in any type of setting, running errands, going out. You can rock this in the office. I think it's office friendly. If you do light sprays, I would even wear this going out to eat or for drinks. It probably smell even better layered for that type of setting. But I think this is very versatile in any type of setting or season. In regards to longevity and projection, this one is a beast. I want to say in the first couple of hours of spraying this, so I start my day at 8 o'clock. So I'm out the house by 8 o'clock. And when I got to work, this was definitely booming for, I want to say, 2 to 3 hours. So it's definitely a beast. As the day goes on, you still smell it, but more so when someone's in your vicinity. They'll be in your scent bubble. They'll definitely smell it on you, but that trail that it left earlier in the day, that dies down a bit. But it goes back to what I was saying. It's that good girl, or maybe that bad girl that's turned good. She doesn't need to do much. She's just gonna garner attention by wearing this. This is exactly what Indecent Cherry does in regards to performance. It leaves a trail initially, but as you get closer, it's still there and it's gonna capture someone's attention. Okay, so you know what time it is, layering combo time. I did something a little bit different this time around. Normally when I test out a fragrance for the first time, I'll wear it and then I'll wear a layering combo so I can talk to you guys about it. This time I decided to sit with this longer than a couple of times. I actually wore this 4 times, I believe. 1, because I really like it, and also 2, just there were so many different ideas. I'm like, oh, this would probably smell good with this would smell good with that. So I got to sit with this a little bit longer. So as always, we start with an unscented soap. And then since it's a cherry fragrance, I use from Bath & Body Works Black Cherry Merlot. I love this. I hate that they didn't come back out with this, so I'm babysitting this shower gel, but I use that obviously to get that cherry note going. And then I use from Dove their body scrub, crushed cherries and chia milk. This is really nice actually, like creamy almost. Even though it's cherries, I find like there's also a strawberry aspect to this. Anyway, that's what I use to exfoliate. And after we got out of the shower, what was my first combo that I used? I forgot. I think it was this one. I used Black Cherry Merlot for obviously the body cream. Then I have it over here from Blanc & Noir Skincare Strawberry Soiree, just because they have the strawberry note in there, so I wanted to bring that out a bit. And then I decided to pair it with Parfum Marley's Valai Exclusive. Gorgeous, gorgeous combo. Actually, fellas, don't tune this out, because I don't know if any guys out there has actually ever tried putting Valaya Exclusive on. I sprayed it on someone. They were like, oh, wow, they started looking it up. So Don't be just because this is marketed to the ladies, don't think you can't try this one. But I think this paired beautifully together just because of that almond note in here. It just made it more creamy, light, fresh. But then you got the sweetness of the cherry and the strawberry in here. Beautiful pairing together. And I know someone else asked me, like, what are you wearing? I smelled you downstairs and I smell it here and it's just amazing. I was like, thank you. That's what I do. You know what I mean? That's why I give the people what they want, because this is what I do. Anyway. But yeah, so that was a really good combo that did its thing. The next one that I wound up doing, same initial layering steps, right? Black cherry merlot and then the body scrub. But then I decided to switch it up. Instead of using the black cherry merlot moisturizing cream, I would use from Carol's Daughter their almond cookie shea souffle. Has that, obviously, that almond note in there that's very prominent. I use that, and I also use from Brown Sugar Babe their Lost Cherry inspired oil cherry bomb, just to get that cherry note in there. And then I wound up layering BDK's Velvet Tonka with Indecent Cherry. This was also a banger too. Wasn't too much of a beast mode like I expected, but I do find sometimes Velvet Tonka isn't necessarily beast mode, so there's that, but it just gave it that powdery, almondy vibe, and obviously cherry goes perfectly with almond, so that was a banger. And then my last combo, I don't know if this might be my favorite. I don't know. It might be. Again, same initial steps when it came to layering it. Then I used, instead of those body creams, we used from Bath & Body Works Bourbon, Strawberry, and Vanilla. Used Strawberry Soiree, again from Blanc & Noir Skincare. And then with Indecent Cherry, see, now that I have a table, it's easier for me to grab things. But with Indecent Cherry, I decided to layer it with Kayali's Yum Bougie Marshmallow. Man, these two together, incredible, incredible, incredible. I was sitting there throughout my day, I'm like, damn, what is that? And I couldn't pinpoint what I was smelling. I didn't know if I was smelling strawberries or the marshmallow. I don't know, but these two together were incredible. So it's a tie between this layering combo and the Valaya exclusive, and Velvet Tonka coming in third, but you can't go wrong with any one of these combos. So would I recommend Indecent Cherry? 1000%. I think this is flirty. I think this is fun. You're going to get attention from people. It's a safe blind buy. I think it's perfectly unisex, as I mentioned, but if fellas, you may not necessarily like something overly sweet, but if you're into Tom Ford's Lost Cherry, or you might even feel with Lost Cherry like it's been overdone, this is like a new twist on a cherry scent. So I would definitely recommend this. Obviously get this on a discount, and it won't be dirty as marketed, but it's definitely something that will definitely garner attention, and it's definitely worth it to add to your collection. That is my video. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you're familiar with Indecent Cherry. Let me know if there's any other cherry fragrances I should check out, or anything from Born to Stand Out I should check out. Like, comment, and subscribe. Stay blessed, of course, and always remember, the best compliment one can get is that you smell so good.